All right, happy Sunday, niggas. Boruto 185, we had tools today. Now, let me just start by saying this, dog. Off the rip, this wasn't really my favorite episode that I've seen so far. Actually, I hated a lot less than I did, like, just moments ago. I just read, like, a little bit of the manga chapter. And it makes sense what they did as far as the rollout of this episode, because last episode, it was hype, and we actually got, like, a chapter and a half. And then this one kind of just finished off that last chapter. Like, finished off the rest of that last chapter, and I would say even bled in slightly into the next, when you get the little Kashin Koji dialogue, as well as they threw their own little Kara spin inside, gave us a little taste of like some more code and some Delta going back and forth and shit. Amado talking that shit, trying to keep them down. But how I give up these interviews, not these interviews, how I do these reviews, bro, is I go through a list of things that just popped into my head as the episode rolled out. It's no greatest to least type shit. It's just like, kind of just an experience of what the fuck I was thinking while I was watching the episode. So, on to my first point, bro. So, I get hype every time I see, like, a little bit of a thing from the manga. Like, even, like, the slightest detail. Like, this wasn't really an Easter egg, but it's like when I seen that broken-ass tower, and this is probably like another reason why I wasn't so hot on this episode, because when I seen the broken tower, I was immediately thinking about the following chapter, So like I said, this episode was actually pretty accurate. This was a very accurate episode towards the manga. I was just like, my mind was already on the next chapter as opposed to being in this, so it kind of felt like, yo, what the fuck? What's all this dialogue, nigga? Like, where the hands? Where's Kashin Koji? But, like, so when I seen that tower, I got a little bit hyped, right? Because at this moment, what I was expecting to see was Kashin Koji and Ao's dialogue about, you being a former shinobi and whatnot, and them niggas is up in there planning on you right now, my nigga. And that's another thing that I'm trying to see if we're going to get some more Kashin Koji in the next episode, because they did have their dialogue in this one. However, it was more so just a straight, like a conversation between the two, not necessarily regarding the whereabouts of Team 7. Like in the manga, it kind of seemed as if, what's his name? Kashin Koji already knew where Team 7 was. He kind of pretty much told Ao where the fuck they were. This one, it's kind of like they had a conversation about, hey, bruh, this is a test, Ao. Are you a shinobi? Are you a former shinobi? Are you a tool? What the fuck it is? Show your loyalty, bruh. And that's what it was. He walked away. And that was pretty much their dialogue. Ao is one of the more attractive members in this outer of a Kara member. Villain in general. He's that nigga dope, bruh. But let me move on to point number 2. Now, this is at Boruto's point where Boruto's like slamming the fucking ground. He wants to avenge Mugino and shit. And I'm gonna keep it real, because it's been a week and I low-key forgot Mugino even died. Like, of course I read the manga and shit, but I low-key, like, I was like, damn, nigga, what you mad at? And then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Last episode, my nigga got murked. Which was kind of funny, dog. Like, and don't necessarily know if we needed the recap, bruh. Because it's like, it was just yesterday. Well, in their time, it's like, nigga, it was just yesterday, dog. And to us, just last week. Like, we really don't need a recap of the last episode, my nigga. But I kind of got what they were doing by the time they spun back around and Katasuke had some dialogue. Every now and then you would see moments like where the camera would go towards Katasuke and he's like in his head, in his feelings and shit. And with all that, it kind of builds Katasuke's moment of regret. So we have fucking pretty much Konohamaru saying, yeah, my nigga got killed, bro. Like, ain't no way he survived that shit. Boruto's crying. He actually cried. There was tears coming from his eyes. Which brings me to the third point where, bro, Boruto was at his emotional, like, limit, dog. He's crying and shit. He literally was like, bro, I don't know if I can take this shit no more. This is too much. He was like, dog, this shit is too fucking much, bro. And I was trying to think, like, how many motherfuckers has Boruto seen die already? Because he's seen my nigga, the Tsuchikage, what's that old motherfucking name? Inoki. Inoki got bodied. He's seen some niggas die, bro. Even Deepa. He cried when Deepa was fucking, died. Like, I forgot. No. He didn't cry when Deepa died. It was one of the haze ninjas, those little purple motherfuckers. One of them niggas died. And he was like, how could you, like, he felt bad for them. He was like, he got mad at the other brothers, thinking like someone would set him up and shit after he just sacrificed his life for them and whatnot. he's seen more deaths than I probably remember. But all that to say, they really just wanted to build up Katasuke's guilt for him being genjutsu'd and leaking information and whatnot, which is understandable. But at the same time, it's like, although this episode was pretty much pure to the manga, it was just like, dog. Because at this is like, from my point of view, and even like my nigga Omar, shout out my nigga Omar, like, cause I've been telling him about the motherfucking anime. I've been telling niggas like, yo, dog, this shit hot, bro. It's gonna pick up. My nigga, trust me, dog. This shit gonna take over the game. And then we get episodes like this where it's kind of like, here we go again with this shit, dog. Another week of this. And it's like, there's a little bit of pressure on your boy right now, cause I'm like trying to tell these niggas like straight up, bro, like straight up, my nigga. I'm trying to put these niggas on, trying to let you know. It's gonna come though. It's gonna come a time where motherfuckers are just feeling this shit. But this episode don't really necessarily build our case, my nigga. Like this one was like I have a note where it was like, bruh, this episode so far has been 11 minutes and 30 seconds of trash, you know? And that at this point, this is when we're moving into the Kara organization meeting where fucking Code is knocking over shit, trying to, you know, kill Delta. And they're talking about like a traitor within the group. What this did show was Code is kind of like losing his cool, bro. Like when he had less to say, when he was just that drippy nigga, and you know, he had shown a little bit of loyalty to Jigen, he was more cool when he was less dramatic, you know? Like now he's kind of like, he seems very desperate. Like, and all these guys, they all seem like they want to get on Jigen's good side, and which is something we've seen evidence of for like the past few interactions. But like Code is kind of losing his cool factor. Like he's losing his cool points. He ain't, you know, necessarily in the cut so much in this episode. And I think they're starting to create a little bit chinks in his armor, where we're starting to see him like break down into like this lunatic-ish type role. So, I'm not gonna say deeper level, but it's like slightly different. It's not cool no more, you know? And also another thing is he doesn't seem like he's all that smart. He doesn't seem like, because it took him a while to get to the point where he was like, oh yeah, Boro and Kashin Koji, they didn't take those, they didn't get the maintenance test to see where, who was being lied to or if they were hiding any information, which he already spied on that Amato and Jigen. So he would already had to know that information. I'm speaking about Code. Like he was in that room basically listening to the motherfucker say that. So the fact that he would still approach Delta is a little bit like retarded, you know? It's kind of like, bruh, you should know better than that. So it's kind of like the manga had him to a point where he was just in the cut. He cool. Like, who the fuck is this nigga? Is he like gonna be a crazy threat? But the anime is kind of making him seem like, we haven't seen him fight or anything like that, but the anime is kind of like, it's kind of like watering him down a little bit. I ain't saying he still don't got potential, but I'm just saying like, it's kind of showing like he's kind of like slow as far as mentally, and he's a little bit desperate and semi-chaotic. And then on to 1635. I guess it moved into 1635 minutes of trash, because after that I was like low-key kind of like disappointed within the whole back and forth of the organization, because it just seemed like this episode was basically a whole recap. It just seemed like a bunch of recap going down and build up for, of course, our next episode, which the next episode I'm looking forward to, bro. But like, I'm gonna end this shit right here. It wasn't my favorite episode, y'all. I was almost slightly nervous to even give y'all a video, but I'm about to go over to the Walmart, upload this bitch. I'll see y'all next Sunday. Peace. Love you, niggas. Shout out to all my niggas, bro. Deuces.